Hi. All right, guys, here for General Manager Training 3. We just talked about all the SP1 jobs, and now we're going to move over to all the SP2 jobs and what is their job. And let's start again with the most important on the SP2 side is your SP2 Leader. Now again, we talked about the SP1 Leader. Here's the coolest thing about if the SP1 Leader is really doing his job well, the SP2 Leader is going to benefit from this a lot. Because you have an SP2 Leader, you really want to try and team the SP1 Leader and the SP2 Leader as much as you can. So he's going to really, the SP2 Leader is really going to benefit from the really awesome good leads from a good SP1 Leader. So with that, again, his number one job is to be the example, to show up to his route on time, to take extra appointments when he can, to have a high sit-down ratio, and to have the highest closing ratio. That's what you need from your SP2 Leader. The reason you need that is you need it again for recruiting. If this guy is out there getting his stuff done, and he is closing, and he is making money, he is your best friend, because recruiting is going to become very easy for you. Recruiting, keeping people motivated, teaching them the program, getting them involved, all very easy if your SP2 Leader is just knocking it out of the park. Okay? So this is what you really need from him. You need him to be out, and he needs to be that example on like the SP1 is. The SP1 guys, we expect SP1 Leader to just give it their all. This is how we feel with the SP2 Leader. They've got to be on time, get it done, be good closers, be getting better, right? They've got to be learning how to become better closers, reading books, whatever they've got to do. That's what you're expecting out of your SP2 Leader, to be the best example in every which way. And let me write this because it is really important. His closing percentage, it matters, and it matters a lot, okay? So keep his closing percentage high. His sit-down percentage matters a lot too, because he has your best lead setter. You want them to be working well together. Okay, which is going to bring us to the SP2 Recruiter. The SP2 Recruiter, honestly, probably the easiest job in the company, I feel, because if you've got an SP1 Leader cranking it, and you've got an SP2 Leader cranking it, SP1 and SP2 Leaders just cranking it, then recruiting is going to get pretty easy for the SP2 Recruiter. Then there's kind of two sides to this. Posting ads. Doing interviews. How the interview gets done, I don't know that it's as important as the SP1 Recruiter, to be honest. As the SP2 Recruiters, SP2s are usually been in sales for a little while. They know the questions to ask. They kind of have a feel for what they're looking for. So the SP2 Recruiters, sometimes the SP2 rep will almost run those meetings. So maybe not as important, but getting their ads posted. You want to make sure they're getting their ads posted, and they're doing their interviews, and they're constantly recruiting. Now, there's another side to this. If you're a pure SP2 Recruiter, and this can be a little hazy depending on which office you're in, because some of them have them, some of them don't. But if you have an SP2 Recruiter, the number one part of your job is to bring in self-gen reps. Got to be bringing in self-gen reps. Reps that are self-genning their own leads and closing their own leads. And you need to be bringing those guys in constantly so that you can, one, build your area, but two, be funneling those people into the lead setting program. Because we want to have the highest caliber closers in the lead setter closer. We've already paid for those leads. They've got to get closed at a high ratio. So more when you're creating self-gen reps, you've got to be actually actively looking, actively poaching from other companies, actively looking for people who are already in our industry. The way you're going to do that is through Facebook. I mean, if you go into any of the other solar companies around here and put in that company's name and look through it, you're going to find a plethora of closers. It's your job to be on those lists all day long. Facebook messaging, LinkedIn recruiting. You can even go into Indeed and find people that are in that specific spot that you can reach out to. That's what you should be. That should be the majority of your job, is posting your ads, doing your interviews, but then after that, going through and poaching and recruiting people from our industry already, or finding people from other industries that are already very, very talented salespeople, putting them into the self-gen, we're putting them into the self-gen guys, reps, and then moving them into closers once you know they're really, really good. So that's really what your SP2 recruiter is doing. Now, in some areas, you're going to have an SP2 manager. In some areas, the general manager is the SP2 manager relative to size. So what is the SP2 manager doing? Number one, pass-offs. Do not get lazy with pass-offs. Making sure that they are done 100% correct the first time. So basically, SP2s, they're going to go through training. They're going to get their stuff done. So, and that's a big part of it, is there is trainings. But I only believe in trainings that lead to a pass-off. So put them through their trainings. Put them through the things they need to learn. Put them through the sales trainings. Put them through everything. But at the end, we want to do a pass-off that is unbelievable. We want to make sure that by the time they do a pass-off, you literally know they are going to go out and close at a 30% ratio. If you've taken the SP2 training, the one that I made, the one of what the actual sales principles are, the third thing that needs to happen is, so 1, pass-offs, 2, trainings need to be really, really, really good. 3, accountability to those 5 principles that I gave is the SP2 manager's main job. Making sure that his reps really are getting a yes or a no. That his reps are really, really clear when it comes to their pitches. They create good pain. They translate and they dance. That's really what is the SP2's manager's job, is accountability to the system. Okay? Accountability to the system. SP2's manager is do your pass-offs, do your trainings. In some areas, the recruiter and the manager might be the same person. Okay? In that case, you've got to know both of those jobs. You've got to be actively recruiting and bringing people into your self-gen space. Then, once they come in, your trainings have to be unbelievable, your pass-offs have to be unbelievable, and your accountability and keeping them accountable to the systems is also awesome. If I was to write one more thing up here, it would be your daily phone calls. Okay? Phone calls have to happen, and right now I'm more specifically talking about inbound calls. You should only be taking the calls that have to do with sales trainings, motivation, stuff like that. If it's a problem about an installer, send them to TJ. If your reps have a problem with their schedule, send it to Preston. If they have a problem with customer service, get it to Clayton. Make sure that you're using the assets that you have so that you're not spending all day taking phone calls. You need to spend the most of your time recruiting, accountability, recruiting, pass-offs. That's where you want to be all day long, growing your program. Taking phone calls all day is not your job. And it's not your job, if you're a general watching this, SP2 manager, that's not their job. The more time they spend managing reps versus leading and helping reps, the worse your system is going to be. So this is really what you expect from the SP2 managers. Lastly, I want to real quick write up for the area or the general managers what your job is. There is an aspect of your job that's management. There's an aspect of your job that's leadership. In the beginning, when you're first getting to an area, a lot of your time is going to be spent here. Maybe 100% of your time, little of your time here. The more this transfers over to 100% leadership and now 0% management, this is when you're going to start making money. So what is management? What is leadership? I'm mostly going to write up what leadership is, and then I'm going to write up all the other stuff that's not. Okay? So let's write up leadership. Number 1, dealing with your SP1 leader. Motivating, motivating him, talking to him, helping him, chatting with him, getting him going, keeping him involved. That's leadership. It matters a lot in our system. Number 2, dealing with SP1 struggling reps. Whether they're struggling in sales or whether they're struggling in work ethic, this is the second best thing you can be doing, is talking to the guys, helping them, keeping them engaged. Number 3, new reps. New reps. If I'm the general manager of an area, guys, I'm talking to my new reps once a day until I know they're through that tough spot and they love the job. Because it takes a little bit of time to get into a groove where they're going to love it. And if they have a hard day and you don't call them, you're going to see them slip right out the other door. Stickiness is really important. And the reason that people stick is because their general managers care about them and want to see them succeed and are reaching out to them and they care about them. So new reps is a big place where I can spend my time getting people going. Number 4, SP2s. And this kind of the same thing with the SP1 leaders, SP1 managers, where they're just trying to engage their reps all day long. This is what you should be doing as a general manager if you're over the SP2s. Engaging your SP2s all day. Who's next? I got 3. This guy's got that. Here's the leaderboard. They're beating us. We're losing. We're beating them. Let's destroy them today. All kinds of engagement with SP2s is worth your time. Number 5, management of all the people who I've just talked about before. Management of your SP1 leader. Management of your SP1 regional. And management of your SP1 recruiter, your SP2 recruiter. Management. Your daily phone calls with them, talking to them, seeing what their goals are, seeing how you can help them, keeping them engaged, showing them how to do their jobs. That's also leadership and very, very important. The more your days go from here to here, and I'm going to mark this as all other stuff. All other stuff. Now again, management is just as important as leadership. But if you can do them both perfectly, then you're going to see a lot of success. Management still has to get done, but you need to be able to rely on your management team to get their management out of the way so that you can spend your day leading. When you're leading, you make money. One of the biggest things that people don't understand is there's a few jobs, a few things that really pay well. Leadership is one of them. There's no price tag associated with leadership. Management, you can find a price tag for that, $40,000, $50,000 a year. You look at any KSL ad or whatever you want to look at, that's what management gets paid right now. Leadership does not have pay because it's that important. It's an open-ended paycheck. So management, let's go through this one more time. SP1 leaders, spend your time with them. SP1s that are struggling, spend your time with them. New reps, and you want them to stick, spend your time with them. SP2 reps, getting them engaged, helping them, getting their stuff done, makes you money. Management of your systems and everything else makes you money. But truthfully, guys, you probably want to do this one first, and you want to get it out of the way in the first hour of the day. You want to just get through this so that you can spend the majority of your day on these 4 other things. Okay? That was my 3rd video on general manager training. I hope that really helps you guys. Hope you guys can go through these trainings and really help yourselves figure out what percentage of your day are you being here. Another thing to think about is if you were competing with me, if I had an area and you had an area, and we were competing against each other, what types of activities would you be doing? Those activities are leadership. That's what it's really about. You need to act like you're in a competition all the time, because honestly you are. There's other general managers, there's other area managers. Need you guys to compete. I need you guys to help me grow these areas. General managers, you guys are right now the cog in the wheel. Guys, we've got to be as good as we can. We've got to think about this all the time. We've got to care. We've got to be the main examples for caring like I care. Doing your best and being willing to sacrifice paradigms so that you can be successful in the future. Okay? All right, guys. Hope you liked my video. Bye.